Yeah. Okay. Here I am. Once again doing the live video first. It's just the story of my life, people. You know, what can I tell you? And I don't know if this goes out in a decent hour or not. You know, you have to let me know what your time is and the zones you're in, and I'll try to adapt it if I can. You know, but I'm not sure. Okay, the first two stories are sort of related. Uh, Trump extended his ceasefire until the Iranian people come to the table and settle this deal, and you know that's not going to happen. You know it's not true. You know Trump is screwed up because they don't know who. First of all, Trump doesn't know what he's talking about, and second of all, they don't know who they're talking to, which is a really screwed up situation, folks. You know, I don't care how you want to handle it or how you want to say it. It's a very screwed up, dangerous situation there. And I don't know what's happening. If I look dazed and confused, it's because I'm suffering a migraine right now. My vision is all screwed up. I got little triangles floating all over the place. You know, it's like, oh wow, man, look at that. You know, it's like the old days. You know, so this is the way I was in the old days. Yeah, bro. Right on, mother. I just had a problem. What happened? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. So anyhow, you've got this Trump going around saying he's extending a ceasefire that wasn't really a ceasefire. And so the Iranians decided they seized two ships in the Strait of Hormuz right after Trump extended this. And you know, first of all, you can't believe anything that comes out of Trump's mouth because he doesn't know what he's talking about. Both sides have to have certain things in place before they can say ceasefire, before they can do anything. And that's not happening. All right. They're going around doing whatever the hell they want, whenever the hell they want, and nobody really cares. And another article was talking about the fact that the supreme leader is nowhere to be found, is actually helping these clowns play these games. Because, well, we got to go talk to the supreme. Well, where the hell is he? Why doesn't he come into the talks? Because he doesn't want to get shot. That's why. That makes sense, doesn't it? You're at a point where either side might take a shot at him. Nobody knows. People are tired of war. All right. There's two people that aren't bothered by war: the generals and the politicians, because they don't give a shit. All right. They got their own bomb shelters. They got armies to protect them. They're not worried about nothing. All right. So who gets affected most by war? War, the poorest people in the community. They're the ones that don't have health, shelter, don't have air, don't have nothing. You know, and they make the mistake of hanging near the rich to try and protect themselves, and that just makes them a bigger target. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, folks. Life is for us. It's if you think your life's complicated, live in Tehran, live someplace else. That's not a friendly country. Go someplace else where there's serious problems. I live in basically a private area. We have security guards in the gate. Not that they're going to do any good, but they somewhat discourage people. We have to half the mafia in Medellin living in this area, so they're not going to bother us. Uh, it's okay here, but I've seen places and I've been places where I walk down the street and if I make it a block, I'm say, well, I don't think I want to do this. Let's get the hell out of here, you know. I walk down streets in Newark that a white man should never have been on during the riots, and I wasn't armed at that time. I was later on, but I wasn't the first couple of times I went down there. And I wasn't worried about the neighborhood. I was worried about the people that were coming into the neighborhood with the guns and whatnot. Back then, the neighborhood where the riots took place, they weren't armed people. They didn't have guns. The guns came from south, north, wherever. I don't know where the guns came exactly where the guns came from. They supposedly stopped a couple of convoys of people coming up from the south. That made no sense to me at all because they're not affected by what's going on in Newark. You know, this was Newark's problem. So, you know, they need to take care of that. So that's the two stories combined for the opening. That's pretty scary over there now, you know. And it's not the countries that are making the decisions to travel through the Strait of Hormuz. It's the corporations and the sea captains. You know, if they think if they think they can get through, they're going to take a chance, and they're paying those crews a lot of money to take that chance. Trust me. So they have better have some valuable stuff or very needed stuff on those ships. You know what I'm saying? You hear me, baby? Can you feel me? Yeah. Ooh, another bash. There goes another line of triangles. Wow. Oh, sorry. Um, Now there's another interesting story. Patel, Cash Patel. You know, he's suing the Atlantic for defamation of character because his story was supposedly false about him not being around, partying too much, and there have been pictures of him using uh, government jets to fly his girlfriend around and to go to hockey games and whatever. You know, he's very expensive. He's not paying for that stuff, but he can afford it. You know, and his girlfriend is probably the biggest security leak in the world. You know, she's smart. She's making a ton of money out of this guy, selling little pieces of information to people. But, you know, he's hard to get a hold of. They don't know what he's doing. And unless it's something that he thinks Trump will like, he's not going to say anything and he's not going to show up. You know, he's going to do his thing. So, you know, yeah, it's the opposite of Hoover, who was in the office every day looking at your information and any other information he could get his hands on because knowledge is power. And people don't understand that. You know, in politics, in the world of politics and government, Lyndon Johnson was one of these people. Uh, Knowledge is power. You know, what you know about the other person, down to his little insecurities and idiosyncrasies, not power. Especially if you're going to the negotiation table. And Trump never really talks about that in the art of the deal. You know, the more you can know about the person you're going up against, you know, it's like playing in a poker tournament. The guy's got to tell you want to know it. You know, um, I don't think that a lot of professional poker players have tells that are easy to spot, and I don't think that they use that information as to productively if they do know it. You know, if you find somebody's tell and you use it one time, that's it. That's it. You're done. You're over with. You can't use it anymore. You know, and you're playing at a table with I think sometimes 6, 10 people at a table. Sometimes in those poker tournaments, and you have to know every tell on that table. If they're quality players, you need to know everybody's tell. And sometimes you won't see it because you're watching somebody else. Oh, excuse me. I got something stuck in my throat. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. All right. So, Cash has got his own problems. Uh, Worried to death about this, worried to death about that. And he's suing him. And I read articles, and people say defamation lawsuits very seldom go to court. They're usually thrown out long before then. But the damage will be done. I don't know how long he's going to be left there anyhow. I think as far as the males on the list, I think he and Hegseth are the top two to be fired who goes. It's a question of which one goes first. He can't fire. Well, he can fire Vance. I think. I'm not sure. Vance was elected. Technically, Vance was elected. I don't know if he could fire the vice president or not. I have to find that out someplace. Something smells good in this house right now. Uh, but that's Cash's little story. Now, in the world of sports, Coach Vrabel of the New England Patriots. Now, I didn't realize this, but he got caught, oh, around the time of the draft or something, a while ago, with a reporter in a situation they shouldn't have been involved because both were married, and the reporter got fired, and Vrabel's not even being investigated. So there's something wrong there. I'm not sure what exactly happened. I read the story this morning, and it didn't really explain anything more than basically what I said to you. So I don't know. I have to go back and research the original story about when the photographs originally emerged, which is about a month ago or so, and see what they were and see what they say, you know. Um, must have been something to it because the newspaper fired her, and that's kind of rough, if you're a sports reporter and you get for covering one team and doing something you shouldn't have, you're not going to find another job of that caliber in sports. And if you don't have, and if that's your love and that's what you want to do, you're pretty much screwed. So wait and see. I don't know what the deal was with her husband or whatever. Maybe he was somebody important, and then they decided that she just needed to be on her own for a while or something. I don't know. Men can be such assholes, and women can be such cunts. I am sorry about that. But yeah, those situations are volatile, and you wonder why. I mean, Rabel's not a great looking guy. He's a little heavy set. He's supposedly a good guy, but I don't know. Um, Maybe he was being set up. I don't know. Who knows? And that's the danger of being somebody in a prominent position and single or married, and starting to fool around or to start to date somebody that they're gonna try to compromise you. It's not an easy way to start a relationship. You have to run background checks on them and everything else, and they don't like that. People don't want to run background checks on you. You know, Prominent people have that problem. Fortunately, I never had that problem because I'm about as prominent as a pea in a salad or something. I don't know. Ooh, wow! Here goes another line of triangles. Wow, man, this is something. This is like flashback city here, man. I'm just like, wow. I'm out there today, folks. Ooh, should be doing stuff on outer space or something today. Oh well. So, conclusions of the day: Trump doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Uh, there's not going to be a peace talk over there in the next couple of days, anyhow. The ceasefire is just his way of. Apparently, I also read that. Hey, Jimbo, and I read a piece where they're saying the United States is running out of missiles over there. For if they have another war, they won't have enough missiles. Well, my question to that is, where did all that big spending on defense go? We spent that and we used up all those weapons already. We didn't have any reserves or stockpiles. That's kind of scary. You know what I mean? You get a bunch of ships over there. What's the deal? They're going to run out of ammo or missiles anyhow. That's the problem when you think you've got smart weapons and stuff like that. Smart weapons are great, but they still need old ammo. They need dumb ammo. You know what I'm saying? That dumb explosives. They don't need smart explosives. They need dumb explosives, the stuff that goes bang. And then they get you a way to deliver the stuff that goes bang. And if you can't get that to them, then they're screwed. And that's been that was one of the reasons that that I didn't want to go to Vietnam. That I managed to get in the National Guard because I had listened to I think he was a major general of some title like that over in England, and anyhow he was one of the leading experts on guerrilla warfare in the world. And they said to him, "Yeah, see," and then he said, and he said that part of the problem with going into Vietnam is that those people there live off the land. They said, you're going to be fight. You're going to have everything shipped to you. And at that point in time, for every combat soldier in Vietnam, took 5 support troops. So if you had 100,000 combat troops, you had to have 500,000 support troops. So that's where the numbers got screwed up, and that's where the problem was. You can't. That was Vietnam. I'm not sure what the deal was when they got to Afghanistan. Could have been the same deal. I don't know. But the Chinese learned it in Korea. You know, they didn't make accurate weapons. They made accurate weapons that fired a lot of bullets. You know, and the object was that they knew that if they wounded somebody, they took at least 3 other people off the field of combat, stretcher bearers, his buddies, whatever. And it was just that was what they understood, and that's what they did. And it was successful. Americans learned with accuracy. Uh, I think Korea we were still using the M1. Not 100% sure. I don't know whether the M14 was out there yet, uh, but we were using. But that's where we decided we needed to fire a lot of bullets. And the thing about this is that the weapons that are in combat now aren't made for accuracy; they're made for firepower. If you take your time, and you have the time and you're trained properly, yes, they can be very well. They can be the average gun, like M16 or whatever, can be very accurate up to a certain distance. But that's not what they want. They want you to fire bullets into a crowd of people and kill as many and wound or kill as many as you can. And the thing about in Korea, like the Chinese just left their people there, until later on. They didn't drag the bodies away during the situation. They waited till the situation was over. Uh, that's damn, I got bit by something. Well, oh wow, I got bit by something. Wow. Oh, okay. Still more flashbacks. Sorry about that. Uh, but it's strange. Well, anyhow, we've got all the idiots in place for a crazy lead up to the weekend. Vance is still in the United States. His mommy wouldn't let him come out to play, so he couldn't leave. Let's see. I've never been in the military. Fascinating stuff. Well, if you ever been in any organization where a man stands in front of you and you're supposed to stand perfectly still or something like that, and you're supposed to do what they tell you, it doesn't have to be the military. A lot of industry does that. The rah-rahs, the meetings that they have before you go to work in the morning, you have to be there and you sit around and you get together, you cheer and all that. That's from the military. That's they want teamwork. And it it works all right in the military, but you have to develop a certain kind of good leaders in the military recognize rapport in the men, and that's how they get you to do stuff because the guys work together. But it also has drawbacks because you get serious effects if you're friendly with a guy next to you and he gets his head blown off. Has a serious problem, man. That's when the PTSD starts. Like, what happened? Why was he shot? I wasn't. It was my best friend. Eh, you know. PTSD is also caused by your wife screwing around with your best friend that didn't go in the military. All that kind of stuff. There's a lot of psychological effects, war causes and the military causes on civilians, and no matter how well you think you can handle it, you probably can't. Okay, so I know we went in basic training together with we had a sergeant in basic training, platoon sergeant in basic training, an older black guy, married, a couple of kids, at least two, maybe more. I don't know. He was married. He'd been around for a long time, and they wanted him to reenlist, and he wasn't really looking to reenlist, because he didn't want to go anywhere, and he didn't, and he was getting tired of sending rich white boys over there to do nothing. Yeah, well, if you lead, Jim, that's the responsibility. It's a difficult situation. Uh, I didn't mind leading in combat scenarios. I hated leading in I don't know what you call it, the barrack situations, something like that. A squad leader telling these guys you got to clean properly, you got to do this, you got to do that. Screw that. Can you shoot? Good. Let's go someplace. That's the way I looked at the military. I didn't want guys that were great cleaners and everything next to me. I wanted guys that could blow the hell out of the guy next to me. Or I crossed away from me. I'm sorry, not next to me. All right. I don't know what I was talking about, but I'm gone. That's it. I'm getting dizzy. Uh, Still got this migraine coming, and I gotta get out of here. I've been here long enough. Jim, it was good to see you today. Stay out of trouble, will you please? And let me know the time difference, and maybe I can work something out where I get a little better than what I'm doing. All right, so listen, I'm out of here. I will see you guys tomorrow. I can't say I'll be on time. I'm going to go do the other video, the regular standard video, which will sound pretty much like this one. And is tomorrow at this time. I don't know, hopefully. I don't think I have anything to do tomorrow. We'll wait and see. So, everybody, just take care of yourselves. Hit that subscribe button if you see it someplace, all right? Help me out, man. I need some more people, just so I can. I like having people I can scream at, yell at. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good day, folks. Oh, wait a minute. What'd you say? About 6 hours time difference. So it's like what? Uh, it's 11:30 here. It's like 5:30 in the evening over there. Is that right? Does that sound about good? Well, that's not too bad. That I can deal with. Anyhow, okay. Now I got to go. Really. All right. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Take care. Behave yourselves.